If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button to keep up to date with all my latest videos.
Hi guys, welcome to Life at Gaz. I'm out here on Cleverlys Beach. It looks pretty good today. We've got a solid westerly wind going in at about 20 miles an hour. This can often produce fish, so fingers crossed low water in down here is going to do me alright.
So let's start by talking the rigs. Now on one rod, the longer rod, I'm fishing an up and over rig. Now all the baits I'm using tonight are just fresh worm, and what I'm going to do with this rig is wade out fairway, cast out, and see if I can put it over the top of the breakers. Now the long flowing trace is likely to pick up fish, and this does work quite well, especially when you're low watering, because if you're in shallow water, this rig keeps the bait tight to the bottom. Now as I'm low watering tonight, what I'm going to be doing is walking in and out with the tides. So the casting distances, they are going to vary depending on how deep the gullies are and the distance between the gullies and the sandbanks. And on the second rod, I'm fishing the trusted 3-hook flapper rig. Now on this rig tonight, I'm fishing varied hook sizes. The lower hook is a 2-0 and then the higher hooks are 4-0s. And something you may also notice when I'm baiting up is when I put whole worms on, what I tend to do is I tend to leave the tails on the fresh worms as well. Now I think they give me the edge sometimes, as they act as an attractor to small fish as they're waving around naturally off the end of the hook. Now I decided on the first cast with this smaller rod is to just drop it in nice and short, and the reason is the fact that that gully felt fairly deep over on that side, so I thought I stood a good chance for just dropping it in there. It's clear to see right from the outset that the fish were there, because I got a bite on one rod followed about 3 seconds later with a bite on the other as well. And it turns out the smaller rod was the one I ended up striking into. The first rod went quiet, and the second rod, that one decided to carry on that bite and look promising. Straight away on picking this rod up, I could feel the fish on the end of it, and this fish decided to just follow it in, so there's hardly any fight. I just basically towed this fish in right until he got up into the surf at the edge of the water. And there he is, just making his way out of the water just there. You can see he's taken the bottom hook, and this turned out to be a lovely thick plaice. Now he turned out to be my heaviest plaice of the year, and I'm classing him as a PB. He's only 0.7 of an ounce heavier than the previous, but he's not quite as long. He's only 33 centimeters, but like I said, 15.7 ounces, and in terms of weight, which is what I tend to go off of, that's a new PB for me. And as the sun set, I got quite a few little bites, but nothing that turned into fish. I had a few bites that were quite significant knocks, but only singles. And then as I was resetting the hook to cast out, all of a sudden I got a lovely big bite on the other rod. And instantly, as soon as I struck into it, I felt 4 or 5 really big, heavy knocks and pull downs whilst I was trying to reel in and set the hook, and then only to feel that line go slack, and unfortunately I'd lost that fish. But luckily it didn't take long for the rod tips to start knocking again, and I was into the next fish of the night. And this turned out to be the first cod of the night as well. Now this little fish should come in over probably around about 3 minutes, so as you can tell I'd actually started fishing both rods out at distance, as that's where I was getting the more significant bite. And unfortunately this cod was fairly deep hooked, and when I took the hook out I tried to give this cod a chance and send him back, but unfortunately he went belly up, so I took him home. Luckily though, this cod wasn't wasted, as he was 35.5 centimeters, so only barely just in size. Shortly after low water, the bites soon started to turn into fish, and then I ended up with my third species of the night. Coming in here is a nice little whiting. And okay, I'm still having issues with my headlight, but the delivery date for my new one is actually tomorrow, so can't wait to try that one out on a night tide and see how well that works. And with the next bite, I was into my fourth fish of the night. A fish again caught out at distance, so again took me around about 3 minutes to reel this one in. And when he broke the surface, you can see that is also the second cod of the night. But as he was only another little one, this one went back to the sea. And this being the last cast of the night, managed to pick up another bite, which also was out at distance and again took quite a while to bring in. Now the fishing has really started to pick up, and it's really hard to tear yourself away from the beach, and to be fair, I probably did leave it a little bit too long, and I left it right to the death before that gully started to fill in behind me, before I decided to pack up and go. But first, let's see what's on the end of this line. Now just breaking the surface, coming out through the surf, the final two fish of the night, a whiting on top and a cod on the bottom. And just like the previous cod, these two both made it back to the sea unarmed as well, to swim off and fight another day. Even though they're small, still lovely to see these fish coming in thick and fast.
Well guys, thanks for watching all the way out to the end. We caught some good fish tonight, even a PB plaice, which is a new one as well, nice one there. But make sure you hit the subscribe button down here, check out my latest video there and my playlist up here.